Woohoo.
Yes, Ward, can you briefly explain what does the last four cover? The next four, what does it cover for us?
Yeah, we have 4 more lectures, and the next one is kind of a companion piece to this one that we just read. This one we just read was on the planes and their correlations with parts of the human body. And the next one will talk about these 7 skies, the asmans, and their corresponding correlations with parts of the human body. Baba, throughout these 2 lectures, has been building towards an analogy. He says the whole point of it is to provide the foundation for an analogy. So that will come, and here's an image of that analogy that Nadia drew. And then the last 3 turn to a totally different topic, which is the descent of Pran from the 7th plane down to the growth plane. It's a very strange ending, and then the series concludes. So that's what we've got coming.
Not so bad.
It may be late to say that, but as you're explaining, Word, it makes sense that we cover at least one more, since the last 3 taps into different, as you mentioned, something different. Because my question is actually also relates to this correspondent between the planes and human body, or different part of human form. So I don't know, it's your call and everybody else's call, but I just...
Well, we did read this one.
No, I mean, he's mentioning figure 38, probably, continuing the next lecture or something. I don't know.
Well, for me, I would like to study this a little bit before we cover that on Sunday.
Okay.
That might be helpful to absorb it a little more, because it was a little bit, it's tricky, Ward. There are so many unknowns about that, but I think you guys did a good job.
This particular one is the most, the term they always use is corrupt, means that there are all these missing words. And it was really terrible, and it's very hard to resolve some of them. This came up earlier when Baba was talking about, evolution. There are some problems, and a lot of these come up where he probably was pointing to parts of his own body, and they probably didn't note it down properly.
Yes, so my next question...
We covered these 7 states of knowing, as he calls it, and 8 kinds of bliss. By the way, there's been, with Don Stevens' group and many others, there's been, a lot of interest in cultivating intuition. So this chart here, this table here, gives a perspective on that could be very useful. That is to say, when you enter into the planes, he calls it here mode of knowing. It looks like this is the English word corresponding to what he called Chaitanya, an infinite intelligence. And he used that term a little bit here too. So thus you have inspiration, revelation, insight, intuition, illumination and ecstasy, divine sight, and realization. So this is very useful information for studying the planes. And as you saw, he gave descriptions of what all of these are, what these states are. He makes it clear that the inspiration of the first plane is something, like he says here, the inspiration that philosophers and poets and great thinkers get has absolutely no connection with this higher inspiration. So it goes way beyond what or gross conscious people get as inspiration.
Elizabeth,
I have a couple of small questions. So, related to that, does that, those forms of bliss, do you have to be on the fourth plane to have the intuition or the, do you have to be situated on those planes before you can even have that mode of knowing? Or
Yeah.
can you have that mode of knowing if you're, on a gross plane, but you might have something just hit you? Like, we often say, I had an intuition about XYZ, but most people in the gross world are not on the fourth plane. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Baba doesn't here address that question. I mean, it would seem that even we gross planers do get intuitions, and those have value. I think the intuition you get on the fourth plane is something way beyond that. Elsewhere, he has said on the fourth plane, your intuitions are always true. There's no problem of having mistaken intuitions. So probably in the gross plane, you can unconsciously access some of that capacity, but you get the real thing when you're on the planes. That's my guess.
So I had two other quick questions. One is, when they say thumb toe, I'm presuming they're meaning big toe, right?
Yeah.
And then I was wondering, you said there were problems with the in the charts, knowing the anatomical charts. So you said there were some gaps, some lacuna. Would there be a possibility of filling those in? I mean, are there any other manuscripts that might become available that haven't been found, that you think might exist, where someone else might have taken notes?
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing has shown up so far. I mean, I spent a huge amount of time on this, but we don't have the primary diaries, unfortunately. And nothing we have resolves these problems.
Mary said
Maybe something will turn up. It's the prospects are not that great.
Yeah, Mary said the secret book. I agree.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Who has the book? Mary does?
Mary does, yeah.
Okay. But she's not going to tell us.
Well, let's find out. Go ahead, Mary. Any hints?
I can ask my question now.
Yes, you can ask your question.
So funny. Yes. If you saw my office and all the paper, what I can't find. Okay. All right. I feel like this is an incredibly stupid question. I go back and forth with thinking I'm understanding one thing and thinking, no, it's this other instead. Are these strictly analogies with parts of the body, or is it that these states of consciousness, etc., whatever, are stored or located in these parts of the body?
Yeah. Well, Baba hasn't explained it. Elsewhere, he's brought up topics like this. There's a branch of, I don't know, study or a topic in scholarship called a subtle physiology.
Chris.
Which like, and you find it in various traditions around the world. Yoga, it's there in certain Taoist texts.
Oh,
also,
you missed it. Sorry, you missed it.
Which posits correlations
the whole thing around herself.
between the human form and
You're a character.
certain subtle significances. So I would guess that.
Uh-oh. You muted the wrong person.
something in future decades and centuries that Baba researchers are really going to go into, I am sure.
Okay.
Baba is, as I say, not the only one to have broached this topic. You'll find there are certain currents, spiritual traditions where they approach the human form in the same way.
Wait, I've done body work and energy work, and yeah, there are some, but the extent to which Baba has done this with the toes and everything, and even the
Right.
hollows. The hollows are the most fascinating. I just didn't know if I were missing it and it's being stated clearly and I'm just missing it, that it was an exact correlation, or I mean, actually that these things are stored in those points. So it'll be interesting. So maybe we'll find the book in our lifetime,
Yeah.
those of us who are in our late 70s.
Keep looking, keep looking.
Yeah, yeah.
My apologies for over talking there. I thought I was muted. Chris and I are getting a little.
The biggest gap, the biggest textual problem relates to the third plane. When we read it, you may have noticed it said the third plane follows. I put that in because it says the third plane is blank. And but in the diagram, we made the guess that it's the hip, because what the principle here seems to be joints or junctures in the skeletal frame, thus the ankle, the knee, and the shoulder. So the hip seems like would be the natural one. And I spent about 2 hours on the phone. I don't know if any of you know Bob Ahrens. Do you know Bob Ahrens?
Mhm.
He's a doctor, and we were going over the human anatomy, and I was trying to get an idea. So, you know, what bone would be here, but somewhere like the Adam's apple. And we haven't done the hollows yet. That'll be the next lecture.
Okay, my turn.
Mm.
Can you go to the next page, 278?
Mm. Yeah.
These bliss states.
Yeah.
This is pretty new stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ha-
it is.
Nothing about this anywhere else that I recall.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
that's right.
It's pretty.
I mean, look at all of them, the content he was giving to these
I
kids.
know,
My
it's
God,
amazing.
just one thing after another.
And he keeps reminding them to stay alert to certain things.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's really up to something here. The one where it says Chintananda, is that it?
Yeah.
Chitanand. The bliss of reflection is experienced only by human beings. I find that very intriguing.
It was really a puzzle because
Yeah.
you see, the bliss of reflection, that's just a translation.
Mhm.
And God alone knows, I mean, maybe if we even got it right. So Chintan means thought, reflection, meditation. It is hard to know exactly what Baba meant by this phrase, since in his other writings, he never mentions it.
And then it goes on to say, yogis experience the Yoganand,
Yeah,
and it is proper to those who have achieved the human form, but who have not yet been turned.
right.
I thought being turned meant you were on the plains.
Yeah, and in the next one also says you with a Premanand, and it sounds like Baba is referring to what some of the boys have been experiencing.
Mm.
The fortunate one who acquires this kind of Anand wins the chance of turning. That there's the note said, which we read out. This would seem to imply that these three kinds of bliss are experienced before you enter the spiritual path. But that's a little bit hard to believe.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that. Because the next one, the Atmanand, already were up on the fifth plane.
Hmm.
So you have to remember, these are notes taken down in these talks, and they may have been garbled or written clearly, or they may not have gotten the gist of what Baba was saying. There's always, and that seems to have happened here.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mahu?
Yes, can we go, Ward, can we go to that write-up about figure 37, please? The one that Elizabeth read and she read it fast.
To what? I can't quite hear.
Figure 37.
The write-up on figure 37, you know that figure 37 and the next page next to it? Key
Yeah.
to figure 37. Can you please enlarge it?
Yeah, this is enlarged. This is
Yeah,
big,
great.
yes.
Yeah, I could just see, I can see it now. Thank you. Yeah, I was actually, I was curious to know that why there is a two human figure illustration here. I know that the one on the right hand side, like you said, the hollow part points to the sky. And the one on...
Well, remember that this is the figure of the original. And we just put this in because we thought it would be helpful to readers. And as to the whole hollow issue, that will be brought up in the next lecture. Baba explains that the asmans are hollows corresponding to the planes. Remember hollow, how it came up early on? With
Can you briefly cover it? I missed a few lectures. What was it that it came early on? What did Baba say about hollow?
He brought that up with pran. It corresponds to fullness, and akash or hoko to hollow.
Oh yes, I remember
all of that.
Yes,
That was a big
thank
topic.
you. Yes.
So it does kind of invite our supposing that there's some kind of a relationship of that sort between the planes and the skies.
Okay. And the next one, you know, in explanation of the fifth plane, Baba mentioned about this chap on fifth plane that he sees God as Atma within, not as universe without. And this is the part that Baba was explaining, that he hasn't reached the oneness yet. He's not merged with God. I couldn't, go ahead. Yeah, so I couldn't really understand, I understand where he sees God within himself, but I didn't understand that how is it that he doesn't see God in universe?
Well,
you know what I mean?
You're talking about the fifth plane. I think you did.
You had it, yeah.
You had it.
Yeah.
And then later on, Baba explained, here he sees himself as a seer. Very beautiful, Baba says here. Seer, not as seen. So seeing probably corresponds to God.
I'm listening on the phone and it's not very clear.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Why am I not remembering exactly where?
You had it there early on.
Did I have it there?
Yeah.
Fifth, yeah.
Mahu, are you talking about the sixth plane or the
Next
fifth plane?
Hold on, let's
Yeah,
me
here he
find
says
it.
he's going to get to the fifth and sixth planes. I don't.
Yeah, perhaps it's six because
Yeah, here we go.
it's almost
The
there.
Anand that we were speaking about
Yeah,
earlier
yeah.
is the real Anand. The Arif, remember that's the term he's been giving for someone on the fifth plane. Also, he's used the term Wali, but here he's using the term Arif. Who has arrived in the fifth plane, he who experiences with Atmanan.
Ward, we can't hear you. Yeah.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, can you
Can you hear
speak
me
right
now?
into your speaker there?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Is continuously engrossed and absorbed in the light of God and experiences the Anand as ecstasy. And isn't this interesting? His eyes generally droop half open and half closed. And for the most part, he remains naked. Remember, in the fourth plane, he has said in the stuff we read today, the fourth planer, if you look fixedly at something, it will explode. Thus, his eyes are always flickering.
Ward, I think this was in sixth plane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
He
but
sees
see at the
himself
bottom,
as a seer,
right
not
here at the
seen.
bottom of the page, excuse me, I'm sorry. See where it
Sure.
starts with Sri Upasni? At the very last phrase there? The very last
Yes.
2 words, and then go to that next page. That's it. Sri
Uh-huh.
Maharaj too remains almost in a state of darkness. Oh, we're losing your sound here.
Actually, it's here on six, in
Naked.
actually
Yeah, that's,
bold,
yeah.
on bold.
Put your phone in your other hand, Word, if you can do that. Now talk.
How's this?
That's better. Yeah, I think you were covering your microphone.
Covering me. The day of problematic microphones.
Poor Ward. We
Yeah.
put him through this.
Weirdness. So here on the 6th plane, the adept pilgrim experience, is this the one you're talking about, Mom?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yes, it's
Yeah,
the sixth plane, Cassandra. So it says, Puchab is not
Yeah, he
seen.
says of the sixth plane is that it always looks like he's looking at you. Everybody has that impression. One person thinks he is looking at me, another thinks he is looking at him, a third thinks this too, and so on. All believe that the eyes of the sixth planer are turned on them. And he says, yeah, there are some sadhgurus, but only a few who are like this. He's giving these interesting characteristics. He said earlier that on the second plane, the eyes are red.
Yeah.
It's a mark in the second plane.
Yeah, these things he hasn't said before, totally new, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving a lot of
mean-
stuff here.
Yeah.
I thought somewhere though he said, you know, about the red eyes and the bulging eyes, that only the perfect masters can see that. It's not like ordinary beings can see their red eyes. Did I get that wrong? Did I lose you? Yeah, no, I can't hear you at all, Ward.
Yeah, we lost him.
But now,
There you go. Yeah. So when you use the other hand, I think it covers your mic.
yeah, I am not good at using the mouse with my left hand, but maybe I'll have to do it. Yeah, so here he says, the second plane chap, his eyes are found to be red like blood.
Mhm.
This is the sign by which such a one can be recognized.
Wow.
And then on the third, when he says, all this I know, and so I tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, in the third plane, he says his eyes are swollen. The eyes of others are not always swollen like his are.
I guess that's my eyes.
I
So
guess
you've got swollen
I guess
eyes,
you're in the
having
second
third
plane.
plane problem.
I'm joking.
Yeah, mine are pretty much red, so, but that's different cause,
You're second plane. huh?
different cause entirely.
If you start staring at things and they start exploding, it means you're in the fourth plane.
I wouldn't mess around with it. Any other questions, folks?
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
ask.
I can
Oh.
see Karen.
Yeah, can I go?
Yeah.
I just keep thinking when you have the joints and then you have this the hollows,
Yeah.
that maybe does it relate also to the folds, and does that relate back to those? Well, that just blows me away. I can't think back to the beginning charts where we had those folds, but it seems like a fold, something's
A fall, are you saying?
Fold,
folds.
F-O-L-D,
Hollows?
F-O-L-D.
Yeah.
Fold.
The two of them together
Fold.
is like a
Yeah.
fold. is there anything
not-
to that?
I'm not quite catching the word.
Are you
Uh-huh.
referring to the FOLD is the word, FOLD?
Mhm.
But
We didn't really have folds in this book. It does come up in God Speaks.
Karen,
Yeah,
are you,
we did.
Sevenfold veil.
Karen, are you talking about the doll?
No, nope, I'm talking about the what was it, the octopus chart?
Yeah.
Or the that one with the um oh, I don't know how to even describe it. It's, with the worlds and then there were like all these different folds. It came out of the hemisphere had those spider things or
Oh, yeah.
octopus things, and
He didn't call those folds though, did he?
didn't he?
No.
You
I
mean
don't think so.
planets, the ranges of planets?
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
The
I just-
ranges, that's what it is, yeah.
And then yeah,
Mm.
I'm just wondering if this relates at all to folds in any other place.
Like this one, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Weren't you saying that those were?
I don't exactly see the relation. These are the 7 ranges of planets.
Mm,
He did call those waves. He used that term. These are 7 waves at one point.
okay.
He hasn't been using that language here, but it might. I mean, all of these. I mean, we are in a new we're talking about the spiritual ascent now.
Mm.
And earlier on, we were talking about evolution and cosmology. And there may be some systematic correlations, could be.
Yeah. Well, I guess a wave,
might be
is like a
yeah.
fold, right? Yeah. And it's all about prana and akasha anyway, so.
Yeah, just wait 700 years and he'll tell us.
Yeah.
We need to find somebody who's on the plains who can, fill in the lacunae.
Yeah.
Elizabeth,
The other
Oh, I'm sorry.
comment I wanted to make was that about the blisses with the animals, humans, and yogis, that made perfect
Yeah.
sense to me. That I know that you had several choices of translation of what the word meant, but reflection is how we learn, right? Is when we reflect upon your material and integrate it into what we know, and then go on and dream and hypothesize and all that. So it seems like that's learning, and that is certainly, I think, the bliss of being a human, that we keep on learning.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be like the process of using thinking in the mind and intellection.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of
It's like
sense
an
to me in those.
advancement.
Yeah.
Could be. It's a real problem. I mean, the word just have one word written in the Gujarati script,
Huh.
So the text could be corrupt. There are a lot of those problems coming up at this stage, unfortunately. That's the biggest puzzle of the 7.
Well,
anything else, Karen?
yeah, that's good.
Okay, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I actually, there were 2 points I wanted to make. One, the promenade. When you started, the very next paragraph, the promenade, that the bliss of love. I mean, throughout the lectures, he was telling these boys, seek prim, seek love, make prim.
Right.
And that, and then he gives the reason, because if you do that, if you have this bliss of love, you stand the chance of being turned. So it's like a way to get to the turning to God realization through this bliss of love. At least that really hit me as why he was saying that, why that one's so important. The other thing is what Mahu was saying in the paragraph on the 6th plane, if we can go back to that. And she was trying to get the comment on the seer and the seen. And I don't think it means seer like the the wise one,
Yeah.
but one who sees. And what that sounds like to me is on the sixth plane, God is still outside of you. God is still objectified. God has not become, you have not become one with God. So you don't see God inside as well as outside. That's what I got out
Yeah.
of that. But I think that's what Mahu
Yeah, it
was
does
asking.
sound like that, yeah.
But where is that? Is you had it
Right
before,
here, I think,
Cassandra.
but this chap on the sixth plane is almost God, so he is almost free. Yet a deep valley divides the sixth plane from the seventh. So
Yeah,
I've
has-
been saying that even if through his own efforts one somehow reached the sixth plane, and such cases are rare indeed, still he can't take this final step from the sixth plane to the seventh, etc.
But if you go to the beginning of that paragraph, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's before the ghost.
No,
Yeah.
no, back where you were, right there.
Yeah.
See it where it says not yet one with God. Yeah.
There, that's in short.
Rather, he finds
wherever-
himself as the seer and God as the seen.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm talking. In short, whenever he turns his gaze, he sees God, but the poor chap is not yet one with God. Rather, he finds himself as the seer, meaning he's one person and God is the seeing. God is still the objective. I mean, it's
Okay.
like object, subject object still.
Yeah.
Still dual, not unitary.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Baba has always characterized the sixth plane that way. Earlier on, he used the term shatkar in that chart that he had about the
Mhm.
sixth plane.
Well, that's also explained at the end of God Speaks. When they're talking about Takiyat, I think it is. There are like 10 pages
Takiyat.
on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, Tariqat. Is it Tariqat? Yeah, Tariqat.
Oh.
No, Tawheed. I'm sorry,
Yeah, you're
Tawheed.
talking about Tawheed. Yeah.
Tawheed, the unitary state of God, and all the different stages and who is where. And anyways,
Well, unless anybody has any other questions, I think Ward and I have suffered enough tonight with all these, with all these gyrations. I'm having to let him speak through my speaker. So it's really bizarre. What a jury rig system we had.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
do you think you'll be able to get a better system for
Yeah,
Sunday?
I'm gonna see him tomorrow. I'll fix it then.
Uh-huh.
Thank you
Okay.
for working so hard at
Yeah.
this.
This was
Yeah.
bizarre. Baba must
Yeah.
have been rolling on the floor laughing at us. That's all I can imagine.
No doubt.
I think you guys did a great job. I mean, it was
Yeah.
difficult. Hearing
I'm
was
sorry, what'd
hard.
you say, Ward?
This says Baba's welcome to Asheville
Yeah,
for you.
right. It'll teach me. Oh, it's Chris. I can blame it on Chris.
That's welcome to the Barkers.
That's welcome to the Barker's house.
Okay.
All right,
That's
everybody.
great.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank
Everybody.
you.
One more
We're
session.
coming towards the end.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
Coming down
make
to
it,
the end.
make it
And,
clear.
Yeah.
and we have charts coming, and you were saying,
Yeah, I'm on the road now. It's
Oh.
really,
yeah,
yeah,
The,
yeah.
but
Never
I think I will get them together tomorrow. And
yes, the end is the new
the
beginning.
end is the new beginning. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good. All right, thanks, everybody.
Okay,
Thank you.
everybody.
Sweet
Thank you.
dreams.
So much.
Beautiful
Okay,
session.
thank
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you, Ward and
Bye.
Cassandra,
Bye.
everyone.
guys.
Avatar,
Thank you.
Meher,
Stay
Baba,
well.
Meher, Meher, Baba.
Jai.
Baba ki jai.
Baki
Bobby
J.
TJ.
Diana got
Bye.
off easy tonight.
Baki J.
Jai.
You got off easy tonight.
Baba ki jai.
PJ.
Yeah. All
See you
right.
Stay
guys on
safe, stay
Sunday.
healthy.
Yep, Jay Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Okay,
Baba.
Baba.
Sign and leave. I'm not, what are you talking about? Sign and leave.